Guys, I want to thank you for joining us at Iron Jungle CrossFit. I know maybe some of you are familiar with CrossFit from seeing on ESPN TV or maybe Googling YouTube videos. And I know the thing I hear the most from a lot of people is CrossFit is intimidating or it's scary. And so people are really nervous about walking through our front doors and seeing what goes on in here. And we just want to take some time to share with you a little bit of what does happen in here. You see a lot of equipment behind us, and we certainly use that stuff, but primarily our goal here is to make sure that you guys are moving properly with the best form that you possibly can, and making sure that you can live a healthy lifestyle and do everything that you really set out to do in life. So what we want to do is we're going to take you through a little bit of a warm-up, just to kind of get the blood flowing. Then we're going to take you through a squat clinic. I'm going to show you the squat, utilizing those legs. It's one of the biggest, strongest muscles that we have in our body, and we really want to make sure that we know how to use it properly. We're just going to start with a few reaching up towards the sky, as tall as we can. Good, nice job, just kind of stretching things out. And I want you to go ahead and just collapse down, reach towards your toes as much as you can. We're going to keep those legs nice and straight so that we can really feel a stretch in the back of the hamstrings. From here, I want you to go back up, reach nice and tall as you can up to the ceiling. Good, nice job. And let's go right back down and reach for those toes. Good, nice job. You might notice, maybe for you, you're not quite getting down to those toes. That's all right. Everybody's kind of at a different spot, depending upon what your job is, if you've had injuries in the past, where you're starting out from. Go ahead, we're gonna warm up our arms. So there's some nice tight arm circles. Rotating forward. Good, nice job. Trying to find a rhythm so we don't collide. Good, let's make those arm circles a little bit bigger. Good, nice job. It's always important, anytime we're gonna move, whether it's super high intensity or we're gonna be moving some weights a little bit slowly, we always wanna make sure that we're getting our body warmed up and prepped for the movement at hand. All right, let's go ahead, tight arm circles, but let's reverse the direction. Good, let's make them a little bit bigger. Good, all right. We're gonna do a couple torso twists. So go ahead, just take your hands. We're just gonna turn, nothing crazy. Just gonna warm up that upper body. We're gonna be doing primarily a lot of work with our lower body, but we wanna start at the top, kind of work things down a little bit. Good. All right, we're gonna start taking care of the lower body now. So if you can, what I want you to do is you're actually gonna take and grab your knee. Now you might find that balance might be a little bit of an issue. So if you have a countertop, you have a chair next to you, small kid, go ahead, place your hand on their head. Go ahead and balance yourself, but give yourself a nice hug of that knee. Let's go ahead and put that down. Let's switch to the other side. Go ahead and put that down. Now we're gonna take care of the front of our quads because we're gonna be using those a lot as we're moving. So what we wanna do is we're actually gonna try to grab the back of our foot. So if you can't quite reach, maybe things are tight, you can try to grab the inside of your shoe here. If you can grab your ankle, you can grab that ankle. If maybe you're really tight, again, balancing on something, trying to reach for it the best you can, or maybe even take a towel and wrap around your foot so you have something to kind of hold on to. But this is gonna help stretch out that quad. What I want you to do when you're doing this is try to keep those knees nice and close together and in line. Good, let's go ahead and put that one down. Let's go to the other side. Nice job. So what I'm gonna have them do is we're just gonna do some simple jumping jacks. Everybody knows jumping jacks. We've done them since grade school in Phi Ed. So we're gonna go for, let's do 15 jumping jacks just to get the body moving. So we're gonna clap those hands over the top of our head as our feet come out, and then bring those feet and hands back down to our starting position, all right? Guys, so we'll go for 15. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, good. What we wanna do is we wanna start with the squat. A lot of people think that squatting, a body weight squat, is something that's so easy. We do it all the time. Every time you sit down at the dinner table, you go and you sit to get in and out of your car or at your office chair. you're squatting. You're squatting your body weight. We call that an air squat or a body weight squat. So we do this every day, but a lot of people, when I ask them to do a squat, are squatting improperly. They're not activating the right muscles, which is allowing them to not get the right power out of their squat. It also doesn't allow them to get as deep and full range of motion as we would like them to get. So what I'm gonna have it do is I'm gonna have all my athletes, as you can see, they're bringing their feet nice and tight together, very closely. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna try to keep those feet flat on the ground, not letting them rock off to the sides, rocking up onto their toes, not gonna let their heels leave the ground. They're gonna try to keep those feet flat on the ground. I'm also gonna have them take their hands and place them right on their legs. Nice long arms, right at the point they're touching their thighs. And we're gonna start to do little partial squats, just kind of traveling down the legs with our hands. We're gonna go down just to our knees, where our hands touch our knees. So guys, hips back, and then down to our knees. See how they're pressing their knees out. So from here, I'm gonna have them stand up nice and tall, right back to the top. If you had a hard time getting down to your knees, go ahead and just go down, try to get down to your knees again with us this time as they travel a little bit lower. So guys, hips back, good. Traveling down, our knees are out, good. Now notice none of them are rocking way up off of their foot. They're not leaving, their heels aren't leaving the ground or anything like that. They're keeping their knees back behind their toes, all right? Good, let's go ahead and stand up one more time. Good, and they did that fine, so we're gonna travel down a little bit lower. So guys, this time we're gonna take our hands all the way down to our ankles, if we can, all right? So butts go back, good, knees out. We travel down, good, down to the ankles, nice job. It might feel a little awkward for you with the feet nice and close together. Maybe you feel a little bit unstable, a little bit unbalanced, but we're gonna get out of this position here real quickly. So let's go ahead and let's stand right back up. Now what I want them to do is I want them to take their feet to about hip width or shoulder width apart. So we're looking for feet straight ahead if possible. At most, 15 to 20 degrees out if we need to is acceptable, but not much more than that. The one thing I'm gonna have them add now as we go down into our squat is I want them to screw their feet into the ground. And when I say that, I want you to think about trying to split the floor, trying to pull the floor apart. So what we're gonna do is if you watch, let's watch Christy's knees here as I have her screw her feet in. You can see not screwed in, they're kind of straight ahead. As she screws her feet in, you can kind of quickly see that those knees kind of turn out. So try that one more time. Good, so here's normal. They're kind of pointing straight ahead. I have her screw those feet in, and you can see that that whole leg kind of just shifts out a little bit. That's gonna create some power in her hips. It's also gonna allow her to utilize her glutes and her posterior chain, her backside as she squats. And she's gonna be able to squat much better, she's gonna be much stronger, and she's gonna protect her lower back as she's squatting to full depth here. So let's have everybody go ahead and screw those feet into the ground. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna keep our hands on our thighs as we travel down towards our knees. Again, we're still pushing the hips back first, and then we're driving the knees out as we descend down, right? So let's screw those feet in, hips back. We're gonna go just down to the knees. Good, right to there. And then we stand right back up again. Good, let's travel. Again, we're gonna go a little bit lower, so let's go down to mid-shin this time. So screw those feet in, hips back, knees out as we travel down to mid-shin. Good, nice job. Notice, I'm gonna have you guys all stay down there for a minute. Notice as they're down there, their chests are staying up fairly tall. So I can read what's on their shirt. What I don't wanna see is Christy start to look down at the ground like this, okay? Because now she's gonna keep her butt up nice and high. We don't want that. We want her to keep her chest up nice and tall, nice strong core up tight. Good, let's stand up nice and tall. Let's try to take this down now, all the way down to our ankles. All right, so butts back, knees out, all the way down to our ankles. Good. From here, if they have anything, any room left, what I'm gonna have them do is go ahead and drop your hips just a little bit lower, if you can. Good. And then we're gonna take our hands up out in front of us, just to help kind of counterbalance this. Good, good. Joe, bring your chest up just a little bit. Good, nice job. Good. Notice nobody's knees are caving in. Their quads are burning a little bit. They're waiting for me to tell them to get up out of the squat, but nobody's knees are caving in. Nobody's rocking up on their toes or leaving their entire foot. Good. From here, as they come up, they're gonna press their knees out and drive up nice and hard through their heels. Good. So let's have them, they're gonna go right back down now this time, thinking about all the things that we just talked about, only I'm not gonna have them have their hands on their thighs. They're gonna keep their hands up here for counterbalance. So let's go ahead, put the hands out here. Good. Screw those feet into the ground like we're trying to separate the floor. We're gonna push those hips back first. Good, activating those glutes and hamstrings, driving the knees out, hips back as we come down. Good, nice job. Notice all of their chests are up nice and tall, knees are out. Good, feet are flat on the ground. Nice job. And now as they come up, what they're gonna do is imagine that they've got someone's holding their hands on either side of their legs. Sharon's gonna go ahead and she's gonna push out against my hands as she stands up. A few things I do wanna kind of mention though. Now I know that some of you, these guys have been practicing for a long time. They've been doing a lot of squats. We do a ton in here. Weighted squats, air squats, and so we wanna show just a few different faults that you might see and then give you a few scaling options as well. One of the faults that we typically see is instead of pushing those hips back first, like we've been talking about, we see the hips just dropping straight down and those knees going straight forward. So if you see, yeah, she's in here. Is that comfortable for you? No. No, not at all. What muscles are you feeling just on fire right now? Yeah. So what happens is when we're doing this, we push forward and all of the energy is going into the quad, and her hamstrings and glutes, those big strong muscles, aren't really helping a whole lot. And because they're not doing much, our lower back is also getting a heck of a workout too. Yeah, you're feeling it back there, right? I bet you're feeling it right here in your knees too. Good, go ahead and stand up. We don't want to hurt those knees and back. So when we push the knees forward, we're actually engaging the wrong muscles first, and it's putting us in a compromised position. So a lot of people will squat and say, I can't squat because my knees hurt. Well, maybe we're not squatting properly. And so that's one of the things that we want to avoid. So what I'm actually gonna have to do is, Sharon, let's go ahead and squat just like you did again with the knees forward. Good. So if she's in this position or you feel like your knees hurt, what I want you to actually do is imagine pulling your knees back so you can see your toes, okay? So when she can see her toes, good. Now her hips are up a little bit more. Does that feel better? Good. And now she can probably even go ahead and she can continue down a little bit further here. Good. And then drive right back up again. So I'm gonna have Tony is gonna drop down. He's gonna get a nice low squat, but notice I have no idea what Tony's shirt says. On the back, nice shirt, bud. But I have no idea what the front of his shirt says. Tony has no idea if I'm making faces at him or what's going on up here. Tony's staring at the ground. He's leaning way far forward. So what I'm gonna have Tony do is, this is actually a little bit more of an ankle problem, an ankle mobility issue, because Tony can't rock his hips down low enough. And so that's why he's trying to get a nice low squat to make his coach happy, but he's actually loading up this lower back. So what I'm gonna have Tony do is actually come up a little bit in his squat to the point where he can now find that comfortable position where I can see his chest. And this might mean that Tony has to limit his range of motion for a little bit. He might have to stop here. And so you're gonna see during that Tabata, go ahead and stand up, Tony. You're gonna see during the workout that we're gonna do, I'm actually gonna give Tony a target to go to so that you can keep an eye on what a scaled version of a squat might look like. So we're gonna go over the next one. This is probably the most common fault that I see, and this is one that we've actually worked with Christy a really long time on, which is why she was so gracious to demonstrate for us. But this is the one that probably concerns me the most as a coach. I wanna make sure that we're not doing this. And this is what we call a valgus knee, or where the knees cave inward. So I'm gonna have Christy start to squat. I'm not gonna have her hold it there forever because we've tried too long to fix this. But you see the knees start to cave in. And what happens is my knees and Christy's knees are not designed to go in this way. So go ahead and stand up for me. When that happens, think about all these tendons that are running through our legs. They're not in line. They're kind of crisscrossing and combating with one another. And this is where we see a lot of ACL injuries and knee injuries over a period of time, especially with different sports where cutting is involved, like basketball and football and things like that. I'm just gonna give her a cue to help her, remind her to drive her knees out. If the whole driving your knees out, just telling her that's not working, I'm gonna give her a cue. So as Christy goes down, she's got her knees out, I'm actually gonna place my hand out here, and I'm gonna tell her, drive your hands out, try to touch my knees. There you go, good. And from here, she's actually able to squat just a little bit lower than she would have if those knees came in. And now the other thing that's also common with this issue is we squat down, now I want Christy to drive back up. We want to make sure that as she drives up, her knees don't drive back in, okay? So I'm gonna hold that hand out there, I'm gonna have her squat down, push out against my, there you go, good. And as she goes up, I'm gonna tell her, push out against, there we go, good. And then another common one, and this is only because athletes really, really want to try to make their coach happy and get full depth. And they want to avoid the lean over like Tony did, is they tend to rock up onto their toes. So their whole foot leaves the ground, or their whole heel. So they get down here, dang Joe, that is a beautiful low squat for me. However, Joe is all the way up onto his toes. I could go ahead and I could stick my entire hand underneath the back of his heel. This is not good either, because now Joe's hamstrings have also shut off, okay? It's also very tippy. Joe is gonna be all over the place here. He's gonna end up loading up his knee and his quad the exact same way Sharon was when I had her push her knees forward. So what I'm gonna tell Joe here to do is come up a little bit, try to rock his heels back. Now he might not be able to get down quite as far, he might have to stay up a little bit, but we're gonna have him just come back onto those feet, only go down as far as he can where his heels are able to stay on the ground, okay? This one is a very common error that kind of follows when people try to fix their squat when their issue is what Tony had, where they lean forward. So a Tabata was designed, the pattern actually goes 20 seconds on of hard work, 10 seconds off of rest. So you're gonna work for 20 seconds, rest for 20 seconds, and it lasts 4 minutes long. So the first one will be the air squat. So we'll have Sharon drop, she's gonna go all the way down to her squat, nice and low. Again, my goal for her is to get as low as she can with good form. So if she can get to what we call below parallel, so let's go down, below parallel, you can see where her hip is below the crease or the top of her knee. That's excellent. If she needed to, we would certainly cut that range short just a little bit if that was as low as she could go with good form. But she's gonna be doing those air squats for 20 seconds. Now you may or may not have a large wooden box at your house, that's fine. Maybe you have a bench where you change your shoes as you come in or leave the house. Maybe you have a chair at the dinner table, or even your couch works just fine too. You're gonna pick a target that you can comfortably go to. That way you have something to support you in the case that maybe you get unbalanced and you were to fall back. You've got something there to kind of catch you. Or maybe you have that box as a support to help you get back up again. And I'll show you one other variation of that as well. So here, Tony's gonna do our squat, but he's only gonna go down until he touches the box, and then he's gonna drive right back up again. Again, when he comes back down, he's not gonna rock all the way back and leave his feet. He's gonna stay in that squat position, and he's gonna drive right back up again. Now, say Tony doesn't quite have the leg strength to get up from the couch. Tony could grab a chair and have a chair in front of him as well, or he could have some kind of an object that he can hold on to, and then now he can use his upper body strength to help him kind of get up. So for this instance, we have a PVC pole here. You could use a broomstick, you could use a chair, you could use that exact same kid that's running around your house that we use to stretch and lean on, whatever might work for you. Christy is gonna do what we call a thruster. This is more of a full body workout, so it's not just your legs, but we're also gonna get some upper body movement involved as well. And you can use, for this instance, Christy's gonna use a basketball. You can use any ball you have at home. You could use a couple soup cans if you wanted to, one in either hand, some dumbbells if you actually have weights. What I'm gonna have Christy do is she's gonna hold that ball in front of her. She's gonna keep her elbows in nice and tight. Ball's gonna stay here. As she drops down, she's gonna go all the way down to the squat. As she comes up, she's gonna drive up, and she's just gonna press the ball overhead. Now, obviously, the more weight she has, the harder that gets. Joe's gonna get down chest to deck, meaning he's gonna basically lay face down on the ground. From there, he's gonna pop back up again to his feet, and then he's gonna jump and give me a clap over the top of his head. So this is an extremely taxing move because it's not only a squat, but he's going into this flexion, this tight ball, activating all of his muscles. He's kicking those feet back almost into a push-up, and then he's gonna explode back up, kicking those feet out, and then he extends again. So it's this huge and kind of beautiful compacting, extending body movement, all to get one rep in. So Joe's gonna use the burpee for 20 seconds. I'm gonna start the clock, so you got a 20-second timer going on. You'll have a 10-second timer for your rest. When that rest period comes up, I want you to just rest. If you're starting to breathe heavy, just remember, it's 20 seconds, and you guys can do anything for 20 seconds. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get our timer ready. I'm gonna get these guys queued up and ready to go. I want you guys to pick someone, a movement that you can try to imitate, and try to follow along with them. Try to keep pace with them if you can, or see if you can beat them. And if you're able to, next time maybe try to move on to another movement. So we are gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice job. Good, Sharon, nice low depth. Nice job, Tony. Good, Christy, nice job. Christy's getting nice full extension at the very top. Hang in there, guys, 5 more seconds. Good. And go ahead and rest. Good, they're gonna catch your breath. Not too bad for round 1, right? It's only 7 left. Good, and here we go. Round 2. Good, now they all have a number that they hit in their mind. Yeah, that first round, you know, Joe's gonna try to get just as many burpees in round 2 as he can. He's gonna try to maintain a good, strong pace. See if he can hold on to that pace for all 8 rounds. Good, and rest. Nice job. Tony's thankful that he's doing the scaled option right now so he can haul all over this thing. And there we go. Good. Good, we're gonna make sure that she's always getting a nice full extension of that ball over the top, which she is doing. But I know that when we get tired, it's real easy to just start pushing it halfway up. So we don't wanna see that. Crispy, just show me a half a rep. Yeah, see, we don't wanna see that. We wanna make sure we get all the way up there and rest. Good, I can hear him breathing. I can hear Sharon breathing over here a little bit. All right, and go, guys. Good, good. Good, Christy, push it up and all the way back there. There we go. Nice job. Now, maybe you picked the burpees and you're gonna try to follow with Joe on those burpees, and maybe you're getting real tired. So you can do a couple things. Maybe I can't do any more burpees. Go ahead and rest, guys. Maybe what I need to do is I need to scale the movement back, so I'm gonna go to air squats for the last 4 rounds, because we're halfway through right now. Ready, and go. Or maybe we just need to start scaling the burpee back a little bit. So I'm actually gonna have Joe, just for a few seconds, he's gonna start walking his feet back. He's gonna walk his feet up, just to kind of keep a pace moving, so that he doesn't have to stop and breathe during his work time. Good job, guys, and rest. All right, home stretch, we got 3 rounds left. Good, we're breathing. And here we go. Good job, good. Notice Sharon's still giving me a nice full depth squat. Again, when we get tired, it's real easy to see. We start only going maybe halfway down. Sharon, give me only halfway down. Okay, she's getting tired, her quads are tired. If you need to, you can certainly adjust. Go ahead and rest. Maybe halfway through, maybe at this point, Sharon's quads are tired. She needs to go over and she needs to share the same couch that she's squatting to with Tony. Go! Again, Tony's loving the fact that he's squatting to the box right now. He's kicking butt. Good. That basketball, what once felt really light, is starting to feel pretty heavy at this point. And rest. Guys, we got 1 more round left. So at this point, if there's anything left in the tank, in class here, I'm gonna tell them I want them to go hard at it. Whatever's left in the tank, give it to me, give everything you got. Here we go. So if Joe is scaling the burpees at this point, if he can, I want him to try to pick it back up and give me that nice fluid motion all the way down. Good, nice job, nice job. Here we go, 3 more seconds. Time. Good. Good, they're all sucking wind, they're tired, they're warmed up, they're ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take them through a little bit of a cool down, but we also wanna make sure that we acknowledge the fact that we just did a good workout. It took us 4 minutes. It wasn't a ton of time. We didn't have to take off and dig out all this crazy equipment. We could have done this from a hotel room if we needed to if we're on vacation. We could have done this from our office space on our cubicle. if we had 4 minutes. Guys, go ahead and reach up nice and tall to the sky. Good. Everything's a little bit more loose now. Good. And let's come all the way down, reach for the toes. You might notice where when you once couldn't touch the toes at the beginning, you can now magically touch your toes. We just loosened up and kind of warmed up those muscles a little bit. It's gonna feel really good in the hamstrings and those quads. Good, let's go ahead back up to the sky. Nice job. Good. Now when you come down, I want you to imagine like you're swan diving into a pool. So go ahead and take those hands up nice and wide. Dive down. Good. Go ahead and hold it down there. Just hang out for a little bit longer. Good. And let's come back up. Stand nice and tall. Let's go ahead. We're gonna take our hand actually. You're gonna take it down across your body. I like to help stretch out the shoulders. Imagine that there's some change in your front pocket. And you're gonna grab with the opposite hand. So go down there. We're gonna grab that elbow. We're gonna help because the chain's way at the bottom of the pocket. So let's reach, pull that elbow just to help kind of stretch out that shoulder blade in the back. Good, good. You can see here, I'm just gonna, while Sharon's doing this, she's gonna turn around. So you might feel this real nice, easy stretch right in through this area here, kind of stretching those shoulder blades out. If you spend a lot of time sitting at a desk or an office chair, this area right here might get real tight, and so this might feel really good. This is a good one that you can add while you're sitting at your desk. Good, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So changes in the opposite pocket now. Let's go to our right pocket, reach over there. We need help because it's at the very bottom of the pocket, so grab that elbow and give it a nice pull in, just to stretch out that shoulder. Good, nice job, guys. Good. Let's go ahead and we're gonna take care of those legs now because we use those quite a bit today. So let's start with the same thing that we did in the warm-up. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to grab that knee if we can. Now they might be a little bit shaky, their legs are tired. If you are, definitely don't feel afraid to go grab that countertop or chair or the same little kid. Hopefully they stuck around. Good, just to stretch out those quads, stretch out those hamstrings and hip flexors. Good, come down, let's go to the other side. Worst thing we can do, even though I know it seems like it would feel really good, is I did this hard workout, I'm sweating, I'm breathing heavy. I just wanna plop down on the couch and I wanna watch my favorite TV show. You can do that after, but let's make sure that we stretch while those muscles are nice and warm and loose. Good, let's go ahead and put them down. Let's go back to our ankle now. So try to kick our butt, grab that ankle. Again, if you need to grab on the inside of the shoe, you can. If you wanna grab the ankle, that'd be great. Now, if you wanna make this a little bit better stretch, Christy can go ahead, she can take her other hand and she can reach around back, and so she's grabbing her foot with both hands. That way she can pull that foot a little bit closer towards your rear end, which is gonna allow her to stretch that quad just a little bit more. Wait, let's go to the other side. If you're working with a friend and you're unbalanced, you can always stretch opposite sides, reach out and hold each other's hand, balance on their shoulders, use one another. Good. Guys, if this helped, if this gives you something to do at home, gives you some ideas, you can certainly use other movements. The number one thing in here is that we want to make sure that you have good technique and good form. So I know it seems scary if you see CrossFit, and those guys have certainly practiced and they put in their time, but that's CrossFit as a sport. This is CrossFit more as a way to get healthy and can allow you to achieve whatever kind of things you might need, whether that be strength, flexibility, coordination, balance, endurance, or weight loss. We can help you guys out. So if you want to come in, stop in sometime just to say hi, you want to see the gym a little bit more, or you want to watch a class while they're actually going, see an hour-long class and how we take them through, see a few different movements, maybe some stuff that involves equipment, maybe some of the stuff that's behind them. We'd love for you to stop by and see us at Iron Jungle CrossFit.